This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Hey, no, don't jump. Hey, stay right there. Stay right there. What you gonna do when they come for you? Stay right there. I'm here. What's wrong?
This will not end well.
El Paso police and the taser passing of Xavier Hernandez. Another case of excessive force? A highway encounter turns deadly. You see, on July 13th, 30-year-old Xavier Guadalupe Hernández found himself in crisis on the side of Interstate 10 in El Paso. You see, police were dispatched from passing motorists who saw Hernandez sitting on the edge of the freeway overpass, and there seemed to be some fears that he may be thinking of jumping from that elevated roadway. What should have been a tense but manageable mental health intervention turned into a death sentence. Body cam footage shows officers confronting Hernandez, and as the initial officer arrived, it shows Hernandez clearly in distress and screaming, "Call 911, call 911," and the officer's response was, "I'm right here. What's wrong?" But upon reflection, it seems Hernandez, in his appeal for someone to call 911, may have wanted an ambulance instead of a police officer. You see, Hernandez, non-compliant, clearly in distress, and possibly intoxicated, and the officer, instead of slowing the situation down, de-escalating, or calling in a specialized crisis team, quickly escalated the situation.
Yeah, I'm here. Just go and sit down. Sit down.
Wait.
Sit down. Sit down.
Call 911, please.
Yeah.
Someone call 911, please. What's your badge number, sir? What's your badge number, sir?
Settle the fuck down or you're going to get tased. Get the fuck down or I'm going to tase you. Get the fuck down. Get the fuck down.
You see, within moments, he ordered Hernandez to sit on the ground. Now, Hernandez initially looks like he's going to comply and does get on his knees, but quickly gets back up. And that's when the officer decides to tase him. Why would he tase this man? As an attempt to bring him under control.
What's your badge number? What's your badge number?
Get the fuck down.
What's your
I'm going
badge
to
number?
fucking tase you.
What's your
That's
badge
it.
number? What's your badge number? What's your badge number?
Lie down.
Officer, what's
Lie
your
down.
badge number?
Lie down.
Officer, what's your badge
Lie
number?
down or you're going to get tased. Lie
Officer,
down or
what's
you're
your
going to get
badge number?
tased.
Officer, what's your badge number?
Lie
Officer,
down, you're
what's
gonna
your
get
badge
tased.
number? Oh! Officer, what's your badge
Get down.
number? Oh!
Get down.
Officer, what's your badge number?
Get down. I'm going to tase you again.
Officer, what's your badge number?
Put your hands
Officer,
on
what's your
fucking
badge
back.
number? Officer, what's your badge number?
Put your hands
What's
behind
your
your
badge
fucking back.
number? What's your badge number? Officer, what's your
I'm gonna
badge
tase you
number?
again.
Officer, what's your badge number? Officer!
Put your hands behind your back.
Officer,
Take for
what's
the
your
plug.
badge number? Officer, what's your badge
Get
number?
the fuck
Officer,
down.
what's your badge number? Officer, what's your badge number? Officer, what's your badge number?
Put your hands
Officer,
on
what's your
fucking
badge
back.
number? Officer! Officer, what's your badge number? Officer, what's your badge number? Officer, what's your badge number?
Roll over on
Officer,
your
what's your
fucking
badge number?
stomach.
What's your badge number?
I'm going to
Officer,
tase
what's your badge
again.
number? What's your badge number? Officer, what's your badge number?
Roll over on your back.
Officer, what's your badge number? Officer, what's your
Roll
badge
over on your
number?
back.
What's your badge number?
I'm going to tase you again.
Are
You'll
you a
roll
federal
over.
officer? Who are you? Are you a federal officer? Who are you?
Put your hands behind your back.
Minutes later, Hernandez lay unresponsive and would never get up on his own again. Now let's talk about the autopsy. Homicide by restraint. You see, the El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office ruled Hernandez's death a homicide. Cause of death? Asphyxia, due to chest compression while being restrained by police. Now, to be fair, there was coke toxicity found also in his system, and it was listed as a contributing factor. But it wasn't the drug that killed him. It was the way he was subdued. Now, this isn't speculation, and it's not rumor. It's a medical fact. A man in crisis who never harmed an officer has passed after being tased and pinned down on hot pavement in the middle of the Texas highway. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, I thought cops could only use tasers in self-defense. Well, pretty much that's the way it's supposed to work. Tasers, a less lethal weapon, do have strict limits. Police like to call tasers less lethal. That phrase alone tells you everything less lethal is non-lethal. Courts across the country have recognized that tasers are an important, intermediate, and significant level of force, not a toy, and not a compliance button. You see, in Bryan v. McPherson, in 2010, and it was a Ninth Circuit case, the Ninth Circuit ruled that firing a taser at a man upset over a seatbelt ticket while being nonviolent was unconstitutional excessive force. In Matos v. Agurano, 2011, the same court condemned tasing a pregnant woman during a domestic call, finding the tasers against passive resistors is flatly unconstitutional. And then you have Armstrong v. Pinehurst from 2016, where the Fourth Circuit said tasers cannot be used simply to end resistance. They are only justified when somebody poses an immediate safety threat to officers. The law could not be clearer. Tasers are not compliance tools. They are weapons, and their use is strictly limited to moments when lives are on the line. And that begs the important question here. Did Hernandez pose an immediate threat to officers? And here's the uncomfortable truth. The only life immediately at risk on July 13th was Xavier Hernandez's own life. He wasn't swinging at officers. He wasn't holding a weapon. He wasn't threatening random drivers on Interstate 10. He was a man possibly in crisis, passively resisting, and maybe medically not being able to comply with officers' instructions. But even at that, resisting does not automatically equal threatening. Case law draws a distinction over and over again. Resistance alone does not justify a taser. Threats do. Aggression does. But when the only danger was Hernandez possibly hurting himself, deploying a taser looks less like justified policing and more like unconstitutional overreach. This is another example of escalation instead of de-escalation. Police departments across the country preach de-escalation in their training manuals. Slow things down. Contain the scene. Talk the suspect down. Especially when mental health or drugs are involved. So what happened here? The officers went hands-on, used a taser, and then piled on top of Hernandez, compressing his chest until his body gave out. This isn't de-escalation. This is escalation to control at all costs, no matter what the risk to the life of the very person they're supposed to be trying to protect. Now this does raise constitutional red flags. By the case law I talked about earlier, by these standards, the taser use on Hernandez looks unconstitutional. Add the fatal restraint, ruled a homicide, and the entire encounter screams excessive force under the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable seizure. And of course this is a pattern we keep seeing time and time again. This case isn't an anomaly. Across the country, people in crisis, often unarmed, often vulnerable, are dying when tasers and restraint tactics are misused. Courts warn against it. Civil rights lawyers sue over it, and families bury their loved ones because of it. But police departments still defend it as by the book. But if the book allows a mentally distressed man to be tased, crushed, and killed on the side of an American highway, maybe the book itself is broken. Now the big question here is accountability. Xavier Hernandez didn't survive his encounter with the El Paso Police Department. The medical examiner does call it a homicide as well, and the law calls it questionable at best, unconstitutional at worst. So the real question is, will the officers face accountability, or will this be another chapter in America's long, ugly story of police using force first, justifying it later, and walking away without consequences? Now my final word here, if you're an officer that watches this video, please remember, tasers were never meant to be punishment devices or compliance tools. They were designed as alternatives to using deadly force, a last resort before bullets fly. But in El Paso, they became part of the very chain of events that killed a man. The courts have spoken. Tasers are serious, dangerous, and heavily restricted under the Constitution. And it seems El Paso police ignored that reality on the interstate, and because of it, Xavier Hernandez is now no longer with us. The public should not accept resisting arrest as a death sentence. Not in El Paso, not anywhere. Thank you for watching this video here on the Junkyard News. And again, as I end every video, be careful, people. You just never know when your next encounter with a Leo brings you to being highlighted in our next video. Thanks again.
Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos, or hitting that all-important support button on our channel page. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.